nation is strongest when our elected leaders are transparent, accessible, and accountable to its citizens.
Nigeria Election Debate Group fixes dates for presidential candidates and their running mates to engage in public debate.
These people are here. They want to partner with us because we are no more buying from there.
Thailand to invest in local rice production as rice importation drops drastically.
This project is executed without any hitches.
Federal government flags off dualization of Abuja Kefi Akwanga Road. And Nigeria and Uganda partner on customs reform towards attaining international best practices. Hello and welcome to the Network News. I am Kenneth Ima Aborike. Reading with me tonight are Jennifer in Lagos and Kemi in Ibadan. Thailand confirms that its rice exports to Nigeria has dropped drastically in the last 3 years. To this end, Thailand business groups are set to key into Nigeria's rice revolution through investment into the initiative. This is coming as Nigeria is to commence export of parboiled rice to West Africa. Musa Baba Aliyu has the details.
Of its rice shipments from Thailand to 20,000 metric tons from more than 600,000 metric tons annually, just as the government is set to announce a total ban of rice importation with the aim of commencing export of the produce to neighboring West African countries.
We'd like to use the local expertise.
This business group is from Thailand, holding a meeting with Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria with a view to keying into the Nigeria's Rice Revolution project.
We stop importation of rice into the country, and our intention is in the next 6-7 months we'll start exporting this rice to our neighboring African countries. Very good. And that is why we are happy to receive you, because you are expert in this direction.
So they have 60-70 years of understanding of developed, how to do the rice mill, their drawbacks, their process and all those things. So we need to learn from them in a joint collaborations and understand, and then implement that in a Nigerian context, in Nigerian style.
A memorandum of understanding is set to be signed on production and processing of rice for local and international markets.
Nigeria is 200 million people. We can feed ourselves, feed other countries, and with the leadership of Mr. President, I'm sure within the next 4 years, or even the next 2 years of his second tenure, every Nigerian will be proud to be a Nigerian.
Nigeria is today housing more than 12 million rice farmers, producing more than 90% of the produce the country needs for consumption. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The much-awaited expansion and dualization of Abuja Kefi Akwanga Road has been flagged off with high expectations of stimulating economic growth and ensuring smooth connection within and beyond the axis. The multi-million naira contract, which also extends to Lafia, is received by communities along the route. It is expected to be completed in 3 years. Joshua Ojito reports.
The road from Abuja to Makurdi covers a distance of 222 kilometers.
This road connects the southern part of Nigeria with the north through the north central zone. In fact, it also connects some countries through the northeastern part of Nigeria.
Commuters often describe it as a death trap due to increasing rate of accidents and gridlock on the road because of difficult terrain and bad portions. In 2015, 250 lives were lost according to the records. This is expected to change for good with the award of $542 million contract to expand and dualize the road. The project also promises relief to the persistent gridlock along Nyanya Masaka Road. The single carriageway from Kefi Akwanga Lafia to Makurdi Road will be dualized to reduce travel time and boost agricultural activities of the corridor.
There is already a phase 2 that we have started that leads this road all the way to Gombe through Jos and Bauchi.
Thank Mr. President for his vision, for his concern for the Talakawas.
The people of Nasarawa and Benue State are optimistic about the gains of the project.
The government and people of Nasarawa State will cooperate with the Ministry of Works and also the contractors in seeing that this project is executed without any hitches.
So it's going to be a very, very useful facility.
I think it's a very, very great development at this time that the federal government would flag off this road, expansion and dualization.
Contractors promise timely completion. From Marke near Kefi, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Now, Nigeria Customs Service is synergizing with Uganda Revenue Authority at reforming the two countries' customs to world-class standards. This was part of agreement reached when the Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, received Uganda's Commissioner for Customs, Mr. Dixon Kateshumbua, in Abuja. Kunle Adeyeye has details.
It is his first visit to Nigeria, and the two heads of customs say the essence of their meeting is how customs operations in Nigeria and Uganda will be managed to attain the best global practices. The focus, they say, is leading a reform and modernized organization by adopting a professional approach to the management and operations of customs.
From our interactions, we have discovered that though our countries are separated physically by thousands of kilometers, we do share a lot of common experiences and understanding on so many issues. And this includes, I'm not exhaustive, the following: the need for modernization of our operations through the application of ICT solutions.
The African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is now the latest flagship initiative across our continent. And for us to be able to implement that, it demands a lot of harmonization across our administration.
The plans of these two leaders is to further strengthen bilateral trade ties and sustain the existing cooperation of customs services between Nigeria and Uganda with a view to having a seamless customs administration in both countries. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
The Nigeria Election Debate Group says it is working on a bill to establish National Commission on Presidential Debate that will compel all presidential and vice presidential candidates to tell Nigerians their intentions if elected. Chairman of the group, John Momo, said this at a meeting with key players ahead of 2019 elections. Adebola Brusklin Sunday reports.
Over the years, the Nigeria Election Debate Group, NEDG, has been organizing debates for political parties' candidates where they will sell their manifestos. Ahead of 2019 general elections scheduled for February, media chief executives, executive members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, and members of broadcasting organizations of Nigeria, BON, are here strategizing on how to organize the 2018-2019 edition of the debates.
So our nation is strongest when our elected leaders are transparent, accessible, and accountable to its citizens, explaining their decisions and answering tough questions. That standard of openness must start long before election day.
On the legislation of the debates, John Momo said the passage into law of the bill will help them enforce mandates.
The last debate in the UK, Theresa May did not attend. That cost her majority in Parliament. It's their prerogative, but if you look at the fact that so many countries are now trying to move, like in the UK, that it should be enshrined in the Constitution, they should pass a bill and a law to say that this is a precondition for candidates who are seeking office.
14th December 2018 has been scheduled for the vice presidential debate at NAV Conference Center, while the presidential debate will hold on 19th January 2019 at Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
As part of its public service role of entrenching democratic values for national development, The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, has held a meeting with political parties for a better understanding of responsibilities and participation in 2019 elections. Usman Aliyu has the details.
It's obvious that previous elections in Nigeria have not been as it is now. More political parties, more population, and advancement in technology. So are the challenges in the electioneering processes for all stakeholders. Living up to its expectations on national development through integration and fair play, the NTA is bringing together political parties for better understanding of responsibilities expected of them, including opportunities to effectively participate in the processes through broadcast service of the organization.
A government organ like ours is expected to be fair, and that is what we stand to see that happens in these coming elections.
The deliberations, questions and observations featured at this meeting, but the central message is exhibiting high sense of decorum in political activities, respect for one another, for the democracy in Nigeria to continue waxing stronger.
It's not political parties and NTA, but political parties and the people. We work together, we broadcast, we bring out the news, objective broadcasting. We are already prepared, but we want the political parties to conduct themselves. You heard what Mr. President said. We cannot afford to set the nation ablaze.
The political parties here say they are optimistic of the vision by NTA on democracy and development in Nigeria.
We were also enlightened on various platforms, that are there for political parties to explore freely.
It's only NTA that gives political parties free coverage.
I am happy with this event organized by NTA.
The next general elections in Nigeria is scheduled to commence in February 2019, and stakeholders here are pledging decency in processes before, during and after it. In Abuja, Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
In the meantime, religious leaders are unanimous in their consultation towards a credible, free and fair 2019 general elections in Nigeria. Lydia Odije Ochi was at the International Center for Interfaith, Peace and Harmony Consultation in Abuja, where religious leaders across the country pushed for peaceful conduct by political actors.
Campaigns towards the 2019 general elections have begun. The countdown is on. The game of politics is being played in earnest as political parties put up their best manifestos to garner the interest of the electorate to their advantage. This has also drawn concerns from some Nigerians, especially religious leaders, who are particular about achieving a successful, credible and fair elections in an atmosphere of peace.
On behalf of His Eminence, pray Almighty Allah continue to guide us and give us the strength and wisdom to discuss very, very crucial and important issues that will bring about peace and coexistence among the very, very important two religions in this country.
A call like this to an interfaith discussion with reference to the forthcoming 2019 elections is no small call. It's a call that is given because there is great recognition of the place of religious leaders in the furtherance of peace in this country.
With foreign support, the International Center for Interfaith, Peace and Harmony, ICIPH, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, and Primate African Church, Emmanuel Josiah Odofia, as co-chairman, is 1 year in existence.
We should be able to inculcate this virtue, both Christian virtue and the Islamic virtue, to be able to stand for what is right.
Its activities are focused on inter-religious enlightenment and understanding, especially now as the 2019 general elections draw near. In Abuja, Lydia Ojije-Ochi, NTA News.
This is the network news on the Nigerian Television Authority. More reports.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, bye.
Hello. I go any store and say, Auntie, one day, anything I want. Someday, I'll be living. Hello? Clean that up, clean that up. Because I don't get the money, you downgrade me. Your order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow a business? I have good news for you. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria, financing sustainable.
Sensitivity is a short pain which occurs when teeth are exposed to hot, cold, or acidic things. Cold water from the fridge would trigger sensitivity. A lot of people would accept anyway and just grin and bear the pain. What I would say to the patient is switch to Sensodyne, make it your daily toothpaste. Over a period of time would reduce tooth sensitivity. And a lot of them come back to thank me, to say that, wow, it's just something so simple. It adds the sparkle back into their life.
The annual Nigeria Credit Industry Awards is here again. This award is designed to honor credit managers and professionals that have, through their unrelenting efforts, contributed to the growth of Nigeria's credit industry and the economy at large. A high-profile recognition of people who matter in the credit industry, Nigeria Credit Industry Award is a significant event that reflects integrity and professionalism in the management of all sides of credit business. Date: November 24th, 2018. Venue: Lagos Business School, Lekki, Lagos. Speakers: Dr. Cosmos Maduka, Chief Executive Officer, Koscharis Group. Chizube Egwudo, Chief Executive Officer, 1723 Risk Advisory, UK. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Be there. Professor Chris Onalo, Registrar, Chief Executive Officer, Announcer.
Munch it, what a tasty, crunchy feeling. Munch it, gotta munch it every day. Munch it, just give me the super snack. Munch it, so irresistible. Munch it, makes me wanna say, one munch, two munch, non-stop munch. Munch it is here, irresistible. One munch, two munch, non-stop munch.
Try a pack of Munch It snack. The Executive Chairman of LMA Local Government Area, Rivers State, felicitates with His Royal Highness Ambassador Dr. Apollos Chu Egbere Emere Okori Eleme Kingdom on his award as Peace Ambassador at the 15th Africa Security Watch Award in the Gambia and the Award of Excellence as Security Icon 2018 by the Police Community Relations Committee, Rivers State Command. Your Highness, these awards did not come to me as a surprise. I am expecting more of them because of the numerous grassroots supports you have been giving to the LMA people in the areas of education, security, and economic empowerment. You are a king with much passion for the well-being and development of LMA people, a king who works hard and spends the fruits of his labor for the good and well-being of his people. You are a leader that I, and indeed LMA people, are very proud to be associated with. You are a kind of leader one will always dream to be. Congratulations, Your Royal Highness, Honorable Barrister Philip Oparaji, Executive Chairman, LMA Local Government Area, Announcer.
From our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
You no be like before again, oh. Now, many more Nigerians, they suffer inside poverty. They no fit get better food, better house, better education and healthcare, unlike 20 years ago. As it be so, now to encourage families to bond the number of people with them fit to take care of, so that them go comot them family and themselves from poverty and reduce economic hardship. Thank God for family planning or childbirth spacing. With time, plenty families go fit dey live better lives. As leader where you be, the solution dey your hand, and wetin you need to do na to take action now. All we lawmakers and government people them must make sure say them put enough money down. We go make sure say childbirth spacing services, where plenty people they also call family planning services, go reach everybody. Our pastors, imam, and traditional leaders suppose open mouth to tell them people about the better thing. We family planning did. We must join hand and get it together. Make our future for bright. Now, Federal Ministry of Health, they bring on this message.
My name is Hajia Halita Aliu, a NITAL pensioner, having served very meritoriously and even serving on the Pension Reform Steering Committee. I ended up without a pension. The National Council on Privatization, under the chairmanship of Vice President Atiku Abubakar at that time, decided to pay us 3 years pension on a take it or leave it basis. Over 16,000 NITAL MTAL pensioners have struggled to get their pensions restored. Unfortunately, all attempts with successive administrations, did not yield any dividends. The quality of our lives, has been severely impacted, by the stoppage of our pension. President Muhammadu Buhari heralded good tidings. Over 10,000 of our members have already been restored to payroll. We are very, very happy. We are very, very grateful.
Welcome back to NTA Network News. Controversy continues to trail the recent book launch of former President Goodluck Jonathan. The presidency, in a statement today, described as untrue the claim by the former president that there is more corruption in the country compared to when he left office. Emmanuel Ayemiro has details of the statement.
Statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, says the facts on ground today run contrary to the claims of President Goodluck Jonathan, as the current administration war against corruption is one that has called judicial officers in the country to account. President Muhammadu Buhari is the first that brought to trial and convictions top military commanders and service chiefs on account of corruption. Also, this is the first time a ruling party is convicting high-profile citizens, including former governors, who are members of the same party. This is the first time the international community is acknowledging the efforts of a government of Nigeria in this regard, as manifested by the selection of President Buhari by the African Union as the anti-corruption champion of the continent. In addition to the many firsts recorded by President Buhari's administration, the government has introduced a lot of changes, considering the fact that laws relating to the fight against corruption cannot be static. So many new legislations and proposed amendments to different sections of laws have been introduced to combat the growing sophistication of corruption and financial crimes, which includes the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Bill 2017, the Anti-Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Bill 2017, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit Bill 2017, Proceeds of Crime Bill 2017, and many more. President Buhari has assented to Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit Bill to make the anti-corruption war more effective, while working with legislators for the expedited passage of other bills. Garba Shehu explained that the Buhari administration has witnessed huge success in the implementation of TSA, while billions of naira are returned to government coffers, making remittances transparently accounted for. The whistleblowers policy has yielded results. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Now, recall this popular saying, from frying pan to fire. Well, a former presidential spokesman to the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Olusegun Adeniyi's new book, has this as its title. It chronicles the journey of African migrants who risk everything in their futile search for a better life in Europe. Abdul Malik Adio tells us more.
From frying pan to fire, is an adage which signals a transition from a bad situation to something worse. This is aptly illustrated in Olusegun Adeni's new book. Away from the author's political thriller genres, this is a narrative on the personal experience of the author's brother, Agbola, who was caught in the web of irregular migration.
And then when this whole Libya fiasco now happened, and I said, yes, I think I'm going to do this story, but it will not only be a story. I'm going to do a detailed account of the life of an irregular migrant.
We have acknowledged and accepted that since almost 65% of irregular or trafficked migrants come from our states, we have now accepted that we have a problem.
It's like the discourse on extremism. How much of it is a result of circumstances, of the economy, of poverty?
It has equally led to untold challenges and vulnerabilities experienced by many migrants, such as racism, xenophobia, and discrimination.
In Abuja, Abdulmalik Adio, NTA News.
The Presidential Support Committee of the candidates of the All Progressives Congress has been inaugurated in Abuja with a call for all hands to continue to be on deck towards the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Senator Godswill Akpabio, is the national coordinator of the 52-member National Executive Council of the Presidential Support Committee. The committee's primary mandate is supervision and coordination of all President Buhari support groups. Northwest Zonal Coordinator of the committee, Ambassador Lawa Munir, on behalf of Senator Godswill Akpabio, notes that the change that brought President Muhammadu Buhari to office is not merely being a transition from one political party to the other, but a departure from debilitating corruption to honesty, clarity, great freedom, as well as nation building.
The emergence of President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 was a watershed event and a welcome development.
Senior Special Assistant to the President on Political Matters, Gideon Samani, and his Disability Matters counterpart, Dr. Samuel Ankeli, explained that President Buhari has so far been able to march ahead with candor, maturity, confidence, and charisma aimed towards moving Nigeria forward.
There is no vacancy. Buhari has empowered us.
Other speakers, including the representative of the APC national leader, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, are unanimous in their convictions that President Buhari's continuity will put the country on the path of progress.
It's because of his reputation that we all line up behind him.
This is the side that President Muhammadu Buhari's government has taken.
Niger Delta is strongly behind Buhari.
What we are witnessing as a people today is a rebirth of a nation.
Another 26-member Presidential Support Advisory Committee was also inaugurated. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Action Democratic Party ADP presidential candidate Yabagi Yusuf Sani says he offered to contest the 2019 general elections in the interests of the present and future generation. The presidential candidate stated this while presenting his running mate Martin Kunle Olateru Olabegi in Abuja. He said the party's agenda is anchored on the development of new governance models to give people a new direction. Sani said if elected, his government shall plan and sustain economic strategies for a private sector-driven economy with stronger regulating agencies and institutions which will administer economic reforms in the overall interests of the people.
I am determined to change narratives and be the credible alternative our country men and women are earnestly yearning for.
Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports that the vice presidential candidate Martin Kunle Olateru Olabegi promises to work with the presidential candidate because of his credibility. Now, the Senate has resolved to investigate the circumstances that led to the recent killing of soldiers in a military camp in Maiduguri, Borno State. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the Senate also cut short Thursday's plenary in honor of the slain soldiers.
1 hour after the Senate reconvened for plenary, Senate President Bukola Saraki drew the attention of the Senate to the unfortunate killing of soldiers in Borno State by insurgents. And that was aptly captured in a motion by Deputy Senate Leader Bala Ibn Allah, which also resolved that the Senate do pay condolence visit to the Chief of Army Staff and family members of the slain soldiers, and for government to give special recognition to these fallen heroes, as the senators also resolved to make individual financial contributions to family members of the deceased.
The souls of these soldiers is dear to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, more so when they died in active service. Nobody cares what happens to their families when they die. And it is our responsibility as a parliament to ask the correct questions. What type of equipment, weapons do they have? How are they protected?
I pray that their families will be able to find succor in the fact that they have died for all of us.
Senate observed a minute silence in honor of the slain soldiers. Security matters continued on the floor as the Senate urged security agents to vacate the premises of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly to give way for legislative activities, as moved in a motion by Senator Bassi Albert.
No member of staff, no indigene of the state, no member of the State House of Assembly has been allowed entrance into the House of Assembly.
It has happened in so many assemblies. So the police are there to maintain the peace.
And the police have the responsibility to maintain law and order, but at the same time, parliamentarians must have access to the chambers.
Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate Itainan, in a briefing, reacted to the resolution.
Mr. President graciously assented to the legislature and judiciary autonomy bill, expecting the legislature to be independent. And so if it is independent as it is, and if it is not functional, it is not good for the state.
Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream has met with Ministry of Finance, Debt Management Office, other related government agencies and indebted petroleum marketers, who informed the committee of a planned meeting towards amicable resolution. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Still on the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has, in line with the pronouncement of President Muhammadu Buhari that June 12 be observed as Democracy Day, passed at second reading a bill to amend the Public Holidays Act. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the bill is jointly sponsored by Representatives Giang Pirajok and Kayode Oladele.
The bill seeks to amend the Public Holidays Act by deleting Item 5 of the schedule, which declares May 29th as Democracy Day, and substitute it with June 12 in order to make the presidential pronouncement effective. This generated comments from the parliamentarians.
On that day, Nigerians subordinated their primordial interests and inclinations to even voting the SDP ticket, which was made of a Muslim as the flag bearer of the SDP.
June 12 is important.
That we are all here today as Democrats, as elected members, because somebody laid down his life on June 12.
Also passed at second reading was a bill for an act to make provisions for securitization, transactions and issuance of asset-backed securities, which seeks to enable raising of funds from the capital market, as sponsored by Representative Jones Onyeriri, as well as Representative Abdul Samad's bill, which seeks the establishment of Federal Polytechnic Dogondaji in Sokoto State. Thursday's plenary featured consideration of bills and presentation of reports, among which is the report from the House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values on a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Television Authority Act 2004 by the committee chairman, Representative Olusegun Odebumi. In the meantime, the House has mandated its Committee on Police Affairs, Human Rights and Justice to carry out an investigative hearing on the death of the principal suspect of the bank robbery in Offa, Kwara State. Speaker Yakubu Dogara, at the commencement of plenary, announced two defections.
That I've since October 2018 ceased being a member of the APC, but now a member of Action Alliance. Announcer Honorable Olemija Stephen Friday. I hereby resign my membership of the All Progressive Congress and join the Social Democratic Party, SDP. Announcer Honorable Ahmed Abu, MP.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Now to security matters, where the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole, through its air interdiction missions, has continued to record tremendous success in destroying Boko Haram terrorists in Borno State. Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, says the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole destroyed the logistics base of the terrorists in Kusuma, northern Borno State. He said extensive intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions revealed two compounds as the logistics hub in the town and the presence of the terrorists in abandoned settlements in the fringes of Lake Chad. Two Alpha Jet aircraft were dispatched by the Air Task Force to attack settlement, recording direct and successful hits on the target buildings and facilities. The Nigerian Air Force again reaffirms commitment to continually provide air support with a view towards ending the existence of Boko Haram terrorists in Borno State. The Security Council in Adamawa State has commended the support of President Muhammadu Buhari in addressing security challenges in the state. Rayanu Bala reports that the council made the assertion during its meeting chaired by Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrilla.
Security Council meeting at the instance of Governor Muhammad Umar Jibrilla involved service commanders and 8 first-class emirs and chiefs in the state. The meeting is also to evaluate the security situation and to further take steps to sustain the peace enterprise being enjoyed in the state. The council commended President Muhammadu Buhari for giving necessary support to address insurgency, farmers-herders clashes, kidnapping, among other criminal activities in the state. It also resolved to further engage traditional rulers on issues of security and peace in the society.
If the community decides to report suspicious movements and suspicious activities of certain individuals, we can stop this. And that is why we are soliciting for greater responsibilities on the part of traditional rulers to activate their networks, which is the widest.
In Yola, Rayanu Bala, NTA News.
Barely a year after organizing a capacity building on national workshop on road safety, where the United Nations Road Safety Convention raised awareness on 6 key UN Road Safety Action Plan, the Federal Road Safety Corps has joined the key UNICEF. In a statement by the Corps Public Education Officer Bisi Kazim, this height wouldn't have been achieved without the support of President Muhammadu Buhari. The FRSA Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi thanked the President for this grand stride, as it is a build-up for the FRSA's policies and actions in recent years, which has improved the road safety situation in Nigeria. Now, the Center of Excellence, Lagos, is our first stop on the news tonight, and Jennifer will guide us through reports from that end.
Thank you, Kene. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. The federal government's policy on rice revolution is no doubt unlocking the nation's potentials for local production and consumption, just as the fight against the smuggling of the item is also yielding results. This indication emerged from the scorecard of the Nigerian Customs Service Semi-Border Command presented to journalist Mohammed Abdulkadri reports.
This is the federal government's warehouse, Seme, where all the seized items are being kept. And behind me is a pyramid of about 16,729 50 kg bags of rice that are seized from the smugglers.
It is in their desperate bid to make sure that they sabotage the federal government policy on the production of rice, that they devise various ways and means to make sure that they do the illegality.
No doubt, Nigeria Customs Service is calling the shot, chasing smugglers out of illegal business at the Seme-Land border command with a lot to show for it. For instance, the uncompromising stance of the Customs Enforcement Unit is sustaining the trajectory of proactive anti-smuggling war, which led to the seizure of 850 items put at a duty-paid value of 378 million naira. The grand total of the seizure is put at over 2 billion naira. Meanwhile, after the recent inauguration of the ECOWAS joint border post between Nigeria and Benin by President Muhammadu Buhari, the controller, Nigeria Immigration Service Border Command, Dominic Asokwa, says it has improved service delivery.
So it's a great achievement that this place has started working. And it has minimized drastically movement of illegal migrants.
Journalists took turn to seek further clarifications from Semed Muhammad Abdul Kadri, NTA News.
In a bid to minimize the incidence of boat accidents, NNPC and Total Upstream and her co-ventures have organized marine safety awareness campaign for River Niger waterways users in Onitsha, Anambra State. Ekene Ndule reports that the campaign took place at the Bethany House Mission Road, GRA, Onitsha.
The Maritime Safety Awareness Campaign, sponsored by NNPC and Total Upstream in collaboration with ANPES, Center for Environment and Development, Petrobras, and Sapetro, is aimed at empowering boat operators, passengers, and jetty managers with requisite safety skills for navigation on waterways without accident. The Executive General Manager Corporate Social Responsibility, represented by his training counterpart, Mr. Charles Ngeribara, said the training will help inculcate good health and safety skills to life on waterways.
The essence of this Marine Safety Awareness campaign is to educate our boat drivers and their passengers on the minimum safety standards to adopt when they operate their boats.
More than 500 life jackets, whistles, 1,000 captain safety guides, and 6 notice boards were distributed to beneficiaries. Other stakeholders on waterways assured that all the jetties will be monitored to ensure that safety precautions are adhered to.
Life jackets on the waters, they've never really had enough. So they don't have any choice but to take care of what they've just been given.
The beneficiaries thanked Total Upstream and their partners for the gesture. Certificates were presented to participants.
Thank the Apex and Total that come to Anambra State today for this program.
Marine transport is ranked as the 4th safest means of transportation. In Onitsha, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead with Kene in Abuja. But first, a break. Stay tuned.
Hospital, all night. Emergency.
We are losing her. We are losing her.
Don't worry. I'll save her. Driver!
What is wrong with you?
Building burned down.
What?
It was life or death.
He's sent, boy.
I've got the dog! Hey, Mr. Man, wake up! Santa! Yeah! My resignation letter, sir.
Okay.
Glow Ogasim. Enjoy 25% more data when you auto-renew your plan. Dial *777# to choose a plan. Glow, the unrivaled big boss of data.
Now you can make clean money and develop Nigeria at the same time. Oh yes,
Playing the lottery is another way of contributing to national development. Other nations did, so can we. And hey, for those who may have cultural or religious concerns, proceeds from lottery all over the world is used for development purposes, while winners get winnings. Also, if you played the lottery and did not receive your claims or winnings, report to the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Protection of players, transparency and accountability are part of the reasons the commission exists. So grow yourself and grow Nigeria. For more on how you are protected, go to our website, natlotregcom.gov.ng. The National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Lottery, the right way.
Fuel for your hustle by Google.
But the excitement is still on. Draw what you did in your holidays, and you stand a chance to win your dream holiday. Follow 3 simple steps to enter. Step 1, draw your holiday experience. Step 2, snap a picture. Step 3, send picture, name and address to the WhatsApp number 0902-588-8888. Hurry! Go grab your Indomie packs now. Offer valid till stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie noodles. Tasty nutrition. Good for you.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat. Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat. Strepsils. You in the pollution. It's you. Dry throat. Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat. Take Strepsils. Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors. Strepsils! Strepsils! Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
It's an African one. Yeah. Whether you come here to break down, you come here to shake hands, you come here to make plans. Ever would you reach a motherland?
This festive season, there's no place like home. Get a GoTV decoder and GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love it.
The inaugural Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit holds on the 27th to the 29th of November 2018. Summit will take place at the Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja, with the theme, Activating Diaspora Investments for a Diversified Economy. For registration, visit www.ndis.gov.ng. For participation and sponsorship details, please call. Email admin@ndis.gov.ng. The Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, harnessing Nigeria's investment opportunity.
Welcome back to the news. For happenings in the financial sector, we have Chukwunonso Nwabreze in here. Chukwunonso, the Monetary Policy Committee meeting for 2018 ended today in Abuja. What's that all about?
Well, Kene is the biggest story on business news tonight.
Go ahead.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Business News. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria rose from its last meeting of the year with an 11-member vote to hold all key monetary policy rates. The meeting maintained the monetary policy rate at 14%, the cash reserve ratio at 22.5%, and liquidity ratio at 30%. The asymmetric corridor was also retained at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points around the MPL. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele said the vote to hold the rate is an expression of confidence in the fiscal policy regime, which has helped stabilize various segments of the economy in the past 2 years.
The NPC observed that the near-term upside risks to inflation remained, the disruption of agricultural production and distribution arising from flooding, insurgency in the northeast, herdsmen and farmer crisis, high cost of energy, anticipated spending in the run-up to the Christmas festivities, and campaign-related spending towards the upcoming 2019 general elections. Accordingly, the committee enjoined the appropriate authorities to continue to address these challenges and to sustain the implementation of the 2018 budget and the Economic and Recovery and Growth Plan of the federal government to ameliorate the supply-side constraints.
And the latest federal government bonds auction results indicate that the Debt Management Office sold a total of 39.52 billion naira worth of bonds to investors. 3 bonds in tenors of 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years were offered at the auction. Figures from the Debt Management Office show that allotments were made to successful bidders at 15.20% for the 5-year, 15.50% for the 7-year, and 15.83% for the 10-year bond. Meanwhile, the equities market closed today on a positive note, with the all-share index appreciating by 0.05% to close at 31,984.60 basis points in 2,436 deals, valued at more than 15 billion naira. Market capitalization stood at 11.6 trillion naira. And that's business news at this time. Thanks for your time. I am Chukunonso Nwabeze. Kene is back to you.
Thank you, Chukunonso. It's now time to go over to our Ibadan Network studio for more news. Kemi is our guide.
Thank you, Kene, and a warm welcome to Ibadan. Convinced that the mathematical calculation and arithmetics will improve mental ability as well as provide beneficial ripple effect on other disciplines, a new concept in the teaching methods of a subject has been advocated. This is known as the Universal Concept Mental Arithmetic System. Grace Bamidele tells us more.
Universal Concept Mental Arithmetic Systems, UCMAS, is a whole brain development program for children between 5 to 14 years and has trained more than 1 million children in over 70 countries worldwide.
It is normal children. It develops the brain in normal children. So if you are a normal student, it makes you a genius.
We have a lot of children in school with phobia for maths. So if we can catch them young at age 5 and build in them interest in maths, they know it. Once they know that they are going to be able to do well in the arithmetic, they are able to be in the classroom.
For the improvement of numerical memory, memory in spatial arrangements, and progress in solving general mathematical problems taught in elementary schools, including the 4 fundamental arithmetic calculations and word problems, UCMAS has provided mental development courses that would help students and working adults to improve their mental abilities.
9, 7, 5 minus 3.
20.
UCMAS is expected to help the Nigerian child not only to display exceptional mental arithmetic skills, but also develop other aspects of the mind and the brain. In Ibadan, Grace Bamdele, NTA News.
Objective and unbiased reportage will promote good governance in the country. This came to the fore at a public lecture organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Oyo State Chapter, to mark this year's World Television Day. Sophia Edema reports.
Television is a medium used for transmitting moving images in color and sound. In December 1996, United Nations General Assembly proclaimed every 21st of November as World Television Day. A public lecture was organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Oyo State Council, to enhance the usage of television in promoting democracy in Nigeria.
Media owners, you have knowledge of all those things that are affecting their workers.
Let journalists, television to come out. If you see anybody that has some bad report on him, report him, bring him out.
But when they are withholding information, it will be difficult to dish out credible information.
To deepen democracy
We serve as a bridge. Some media organizations, which include the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Ibadan Network Center, were recognized for their role in television production in Ibadan. Sophia Edema, NTA News.
You're still on to Network News at 9. More reports after this timeout. Stay with us.
We, the chiefs, elders, and the entire people of Okori wish to congratulate you, our king, Ambassador Dr. Apollos Chu de Egbere Emere Okori Eleme, on the award of the Ambassador of Peace given to you at the 15th African Security Watch Award in the Gambia. You are the pride of Okori Eleme Kingdom and Niger Delta at large. You are a king with a difference, a father like no other, a leader with awesome and admirable qualities. We thank God that the world has noticed your good works, the IT training and empowerment to youths, the Apollos Chu Foundation Scholarship Program, the financial support to petty traders to boost their businesses, and the solid support you have been given to the security agencies in our domain to ensure the peace and safety of lives and property of the people of Okori Eleme Kingdom and Nigerian citizens living and doing business in our community, and has honored you with this prestigious award. More is coming your way because of your hard work. God bless you, our king. Chief Sunday Goya, paramount ruler of Okori Ibubu, on behalf of the people of Okori Eleme Kingdom, announcer.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
The National Council for Arts and Culture, Nigeria, cordially invites you to the closing ceremony of 11th International Arts and Crafts Expo, Abuja, INAC 2018, and the launching of International Cultural Diplomacy for Peace. Date, Saturday, 24th November 2018. Venue, FCT Exhibition Pavilion, beside International Conference Center, Abuja. Time, 5 p.m. Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology. Special guest of honor, Mr. Tony Akiotu, CEO and GMD DA Communications. Royal Father of the Day, Alhaji Ismaila Muhammad, Serki Karshi, Mother of the Day, Dr. Mrs. Gloria Laraba Shoda, National President, National Council for Women Societies. Chief Host, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, Honorable Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism. Host and Announcer, Otumba Olusegun Rushewe, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture.
Tamara Ebiwe will now bring us sports update.